Her sorority sisters stayed over and wrecked the place. She said, "That's just what girls do at a slumber party." So, I pressed charges and I, 26 male, am currently sitting in what used to be my living room, documenting damage with my phone while waiting for my insurance adjuster. The smell of red wine and nail polish remover still burns my nostrils. Let me back up. Been with Haley, 25, for about 18 months. She moved into my apartment 6 months ago. Rent-controlled place I've had for 4 years. 2-bedroom, decent area, absolute miracle. I found it. I work as an electrical technician. She's in marketing for a cosmetics company. Last weekend, Haley tells me her sorority sisters from college are planning a reunion sleepover. 5 years since graduation, they wanted to recreate their legendary slumber parties. Asked if they could use our place since it was central and had space. Me, how many people? Just like 8 or 9, it'll be fun. Me, I guess I could crash at my buddy Trevor's place for the night. Hiri, you're the best, we'll just do face masks and catch up. Super chill. Should have known when she said super chill that it would be anything but. Saturday night, I head to Trevor's. Get a text around 11 p.m. from Haley with a selfie of her and the girls. Wine glasses raised, big smiles, looked harmless enough. Sunday afternoon, I come home to devastation. Front doors unlocked. Walk in and the smell hits first. Wine, vomit, and something chemical. Living room looks like a tornado hit. My 65-inch TV that I saved for 6 months to buy. Screen cracked straight down the middle. Couch cushions slashed open, stuffing everywhere. Coffee table shattered, glass everywhere. Red wine stains on the carpet, on the walls. How does wine get on walls? Kitchen. Every dish I own apparently got used and abandoned. Food ground into the floor. Microwave door hanging open. Inside caked with something pink. The smell is coming from there. Nail polish remover. They'd apparently tried to clean up spilled nail polish by pouring remover into my microwave. My bedroom, which was supposed to be off limits, bed stripped, sheets missing, mattress stained with what looked like self-tanner, closet ransacked. Later found out they'd been trying on my clothes for some TikTok thing. The bathroom. I can't even fully describe it. Makeup everywhere. Hair dye in the sink that had eaten through the finish. Toilet clogged with what turned out to be face mask sheets. But the piece de resistance? My gaming setup. My beautiful gaming setup that I'd built piece by piece over 3 years. Monitor smashed, PC tower on its side, case cracked, something sticky poured into the vents. My $300 mechanical keyboard missing half its keys. I stood there shaking, called Haley immediately. What the hell happened? Babe, it got a little crazy. You know how it is. Me crazy. The apartment is destroyed. Don't be dramatic, we just had some fun. The TV is broken, my computer is destroyed, there's wine on the ceiling. Ceiling? Haley. God, calm down, that's just what girls do at slumber parties. We'll clean it up. You'll replace it. All of it. Replace? Babe, come on, it's just stuff. I'll get some carpet cleaner. I hung up, started taking pictures, videos, everything. When Haley got home 2 hours later, she was still in last night's clothes, sunglasses on, clearly hungover. Walked in like nothing happened. Haley, why are you being so weird about this? Me, weird? Look around, thousands of dollars in damage. You're overreacting. This is normal girl stuff. You wouldn't understand. Normal? What's normal about destroying someone's home? She rolled her eyes. Haley, it's not destroyed. Stop being such a baby. The girls were just having fun. Brittany got a little wild with the wine, Sophia accidentally knocked over the TV during charades, and Madison might have gotten carried away with her hair dye tutorial. It happens. I want their contact information. They're paying for this. Absolutely not. I'm not giving you their info so you can harass them. Girls support girls. Besides, they're my guests. If anyone's responsible, it's me, and I think you're being ridiculous. Then you pay for it. With what money? You know I'm saving for Coachella. I felt something snap inside me. Not anger, just clarity. I'm calling the police. The police? For what? Me, vandalism, destruction of property. Probably 5-6 grand in damages. Her face went white. You wouldn't dare. I live here. And your guests destroyed it. Either give me their information for insurance and payment, or I file a report. This is insane. You can't call the cops on my friends. I'll break up with you. Okay, she stared at me, then started crying, but not sad crying, angry crying. You're really going to ruin my friendships over some stupid stuff? Your friends ruined my stuff. I just want it fixed. She stormed into the bedroom, slammed the door. I called the non-emergency line. The officers who showed up were shocked. They'd seen party damage before, but this was next level. Took my statement, pictures, the works. Haley refused to come out of the bedroom. Officer, do you have names of the individuals present? Me, my girlfriend has the guest list. She's refusing to provide it. They knocked on the bedroom door, explained she needed to cooperate or potentially face obstruction charges. She came out, mascara streaked, and started ranting about how this was not that serious and I was ruining everything. Finally gave them names, all 9 of them. I'm now sitting here, insurance adjuster on the way, while Haley aggressively packs her things, periodically stopping to call me various names and tell me I'm psychotic for involving the law. Current damage estimate just for my initial assessment. TV, $1,200. Gaming setup, $20. Couch, $800. Coffee table, $400. Carpet cleaning replacement, $1,500. Kitchen repairs, $500. Bathroom resurfacing, $800. Miscellaneous, $300 to $500. She keeps saying I'm choosing things over people. I keep thinking about the 6 months I saved for that TV, the overtime I worked for my gaming rig, the security deposit I'll probably lose. We'll update after insurance comes. Update 1. The entitlement escalation has been something else. Insurance adjuster came Sunday evening. Professional guy, seen it all. Even he was impressed by the thoroughness of the destruction. Final estimate, $8,400 in damages. My renter's insurance will cover up to $5,000 after the deductible, but I'm still out $3,400 minimum. Haley moved out Monday, but not before, telling me I was financially abusive for expecting payment, claiming I was toxic for not understanding girl culture, threatening to expose me on social media for being controlling, taking several items that were definitely mine, blender, coffee maker, some books, because she deserved something for emotional trauma. I let her take the stuff. Just wanted her gone. Monday afternoon, the group text started. Not from Haley, from her friends. Madison, the hair dye girl. Hey, heard there was some confusion about Saturday night. Sure, we got a little wild, but pressing charges? Seriously, that's major tiny dick energy. Haley says they're trying to get us arrested over a party. That's actually insane behavior. It's giving incel vibes. Hi hun. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I barely touched your TV. It was already wobbly. Maybe you should have secured it better? Just a thought. I didn't respond to any of them. Just screenshotted everything. Then came the Instagram stories. Haley's friends started posting about me. Not by name, but obvious enough. When a man prioritizes material possessions over human connections. Some people really hate to see women having fun. Gives misogyny. Imagine calling the police on your GF's friends for living their best life. Couldn't be me. PSA, ladies know your worth. Don't date men who value electronics over your happiness. The narrative they were spinning was impressive. According to social media, I was an abusive, controlling boyfriend who called the cops on innocent women for having fun, being joyful, existing while female. Tuesday brought the real escalation. I got a call from an unknown number. It was Brittany's dad. A lawyer. Son, I understand there was an incident at your apartment. Your daughter and her friends caused over $8,000 in damages. Let's not be dramatic. Kids will be kids. She's 25. I'm prepared to offer you $500 for your troubles if you drop this whole thing. $500? The TV alone was $1,200. That's my offer. Take it, or things could get complicated for you. Is that a threat? Dad, just a friendly observation that legal proceedings can be expensive for everyone. I hung up. Recorded the call. Single-party consent state already checked. Wednesday morning, I woke up to 47 Facebook notifications. Someone had shared my profile in a group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? With a lengthy post about how I was dangerous, controlling, and had concerning behaviors around women. The post claimed, I isolated my girlfriend. I monitored her friendships. I used financial manipulation. I had erupted in violence over minor property damage, literally never touched anyone. I was pressing charges to assert dominance. The comments were brutal. Dozens of women calling me trash, saying they'd watch out for me, sharing the post to warn others. Some said they knew where I worked and would make calls. But then something interesting happened. Someone in the comments recognized Sophia's name. Turns out this wasn't her first rodeo. A woman commented, "Wait, Sophia Williams? She was at my bachelorette party last year and trashed the Airbnb. Cost us the whole deposit. She said it was just how she parties and refused to pay." Another, "OMG, Brittany owes my cousin $400 from a Vegas trip where she puked in the rental car and denied it even though we had video." Another, "Madison dyed her hair in my apartment without permission and ruined my bathroom grout. Said I was being dramatic when I asked her to pay for repairs." The tide started turning. More stories came out. These women had a pattern. They'd party hard, destroy property, then play victim when asked to pay. Someone found Haley's TikTok from that night. She'd posted videos of Sophia standing on my coffee table doing a dance before it shattered, Madison dyeing her hair in my bathroom sink while Brittany poured wine. Someone, face not visible, throwing couch cushions while yelling "pillow fight." Brittany shaking a wine bottle before opening it, spraying it everywhere. The group using my gaming keyboard as a plate for pizza. The smoking gun? Haley's own caption. "When you're lit and jaff about anything." The woman who'd made the original warning post quietly deleted it. But the damage was spreading. I started getting calls at work. Someone had found my LinkedIn and was calling my employer, claiming I was dangerous to work with. Thankfully, my boss knows me well and shut it down, but still. Thursday brought a new development. The police had finished their report and were moving forward with charges. Not arrests, but citations for criminal mischief, vandalism, destruction of property over $5,000, felony level in my state. The detective called, "Mr. Williams, given the evidence and the total damages, we're recommending prosecution. The DA will decide, but with the videos and documentation, it's pretty clear-cut." That afternoon, the real panic set in. I got rapid-fire texts from Haley. "Felony? Nolan, this is insane. You're going to ruin their lives over nothing. Please stop this. I'll pay you back. We can work this out. They could lose their jobs. Brittany's in medical school. Please." Then, radio silence for 2 hours. Then, "My dad wants to meet with you." Update 2. The meeting with Haley's dad was illuminating. We met at a coffee shop Friday afternoon. He showed up in a golf polo and khakis, looking like every suburban dad ever. Tried to do the dominant handshake thing. "Dad Nolan, let's handle this man to man." "Me sure. My daughter is devastated. You've humiliated her, turned her friends into criminals, destroyed her social life. Over what? Some furniture?" "Me. Over $8,400 in damages. I'll write you a check for $2,000 right now to end this. That doesn't even cover the TV and computer. That's more than generous. You're being unreasonable. Your daughter's friends destroyed my home. On video while laughing about it." He leaned back, switched tactics. "You know, pressing charges like this, it shows a certain character, the kind that employers might find concerning. My golf buddy runs a large electrical contracting firm. Hate for word to get around that you're litigious. Difficult to work with." "Me, are you threatening my job?" "Dad, I'm suggesting that $2,000 is a good deal for everyone." I stood up to leave. He grabbed my wrist. "Sit down. Let's be realistic. These are good girls from good families. Brittany's father is a judge. Madison's mother is on city council. Do you really want to make enemies of people like us?" "I want my property replaced, that's it." "Dad, I'll give you $3,000. Final offer." "Me, the criminal case is out of my hands now. The DA decides. As for civil damages, I'll take the full $8,400. From whoever. I don't care if it's you, your daughter, or her friends, but I'm getting paid." Left him there, red-faced and angry. That weekend, the entitlement reached new heights. Saturday morning, someone keyed my car, deep scratches spelling a hole down the driver's side. Filed another police report. Saturday afternoon, a process server showed up. I was being sued by Brittany for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Her daddy lawyer was representing her. The lawsuit claimed my false accusations had damaged her reputation and medical school prospects. The irony. She damaged my property, I reported it, So she's suing me for damaging her reputation. Saturday evening, I get a DM on Instagram from someone claiming to be Madison's boyfriend. Bro to bro, you need to chill. My girl made a mistake, but you're taking food out of her mouth with this legal shit. Man up and handle it without cops like a real man would. Unless you're too much of a bitch. Ignored it, but screenshotted it. Sunday brought the pettiest move yet. Haley had apparently kept a spare key. Came in while I was at work, neighbor saw her and took. My good coffee maker, the one she'd emotionally deserved, wasn't enough apparently. All the streaming passwords, changed them all, but still, every phone charger in the apartment. The succulent her mom gave me, petty but whatever. All the toilet paper? Seriously? The batteries from every remote instruments. But she made a crucial mistake. My neighbor has a Ring doorbell. Got her on video entering with the key, leaving with items. Called the detective handling the vandalism case. Added breaking and entering plus theft to the pile. Monday, the real consequences started hitting. Brittany's medical school found out about the pending felony charges. Put her on administrative review. Suddenly her father's lawsuit threats evaporated, and I got a call from him. Lawyer Dad, let's be reasonable. You're destroying a future doctor over a party. She destroyed my property. I just reported it. I'll pay the full $8,400 today. Cash. Drop the charges. I can't drop charges. That's the DA's decision. But I'll sign saying I've been made whole financially if you pay. That's extortion. That's consequences. He hung up, but the money hit my account that afternoon. From Brittany's account, not his. Guess Daddy made her pay after all. 1 down, 8 to go. Madison was next to crack. Her city council mother called me personally. Mom, this is unacceptable. My daughter made a small mistake. She poured hair dye in my bathroom and nail polish remover in my microwave. I'll pay for the bathroom repairs. $800, wasn't it? And $200 for the microwave. And her portion of the carpet cleaning. This is highway robbery. This is accountability. Got another $1,500 Wednesday. The others started falling like dominoes. Faced with actual consequences, their parents' checkbooks opened quickly. By Friday, I'd recovered $7,200 of the $8,400. Only Sophia held out. TV destroyer. Her parents apparently told her she was on her own. Then karma delivered the killing blow. Remember those TikTok videos from the party? Sophia had posted them on her account too. Her employer saw them. The one where she's standing on my coffee table laughing about breaking shit while clearly intoxicated. She worked at a daycare. Fired immediately. Zero tolerance for social media posts showing destructive behavior and intoxication. Her Instagram stories went from toxic men can't handle strong women to looking for new opportunities in childcare. The charges are still pending. Court date in 3 weeks. Most will probably get pleaded down to misdemeanors with community service, but it's on their records now. Final update. Court happened, and boy, did entitlement make its last stand. Walking into the courthouse, I saw them all there. The sorority sisters of destruction, dressed like they were going to Sunday brunch instead of criminal court. Pearls. Actual pearls. Brittany's father was there in his full lawyer suit, looking constipated. Madison's mom too, glaring at me like I'd personally offended her ancestors. But the best part? Haley was there, in the witness section. For the defense. The prosecutor pulled me aside before we started. Just so you know, the defense is claiming this was a misunderstanding and that you gave permission for them to redecorate during the party. Me. I have texts showing I was staying elsewhere because it was supposed to be a calm sleepover. Oh, I know. This should be interesting. It was a bench trial, no jury. Just a judge. Judge Martinez, older woman, looked like she'd seen everything. Defense went first. Brittany's daddy lawyer stood up and actually said, Your Honor, this is simply a case of youthful exuberance being criminalized. These young women were engaged in normal social bonding activities when accidental damage occurred. Normal, social, bonding. He continued, My clients believed they had implicit permission to enjoy the space as they would their own homes. The plaintiff's girlfriend, Miss Haley Patterson, assured them it was fine to make themselves comfortable. Then they called Haley to testify. She got up there in a little black dress like this was a cocktail party and not court. Miss Patterson, did you tell your friends they could make themselves at home? Yes, I wanted them to feel welcome. Defense. And had the plaintiff ever expressed concerns about parties before? Never. He loved when I had people over. I wrote a note to the prosecutor. Check my texts from May 3rd, June 15th, and July 22nd, where I specifically asked her not to have parties when I wasn't home. The prosecutor smiled. On cross-examination, Miss Patterson, you said Mr. Williams loved when you had people over? Yes. I'd like to submit these text messages into evidence. He read them out loud. 3 separate occasions where I'd asked her not to have parties at the apartment, citing past incidents where things got damaged or too loud. Haley's face went red. Prosecutor, Miss Patterson, in this TikTok video posted from your account, the caption reads, "When you're lit and de-gaff about anything." What does jaff mean? Don't give a fudge. Fudge? Care. Don't give a care. Judge Martinez actually snorted. Then came the evidence presentation. The prosecutor had created a PowerPoint. A PowerPoint with every photo, every video, every damage estimate. The video of Sophia standing on the coffee table doing a dance, yelling, "I'm the queen of the world," before it shattered. The video of Brittany shaking the wine bottle and spraying it while yelling, "Make it rain." The photo of Madison's hair dye tutorial setup in my bathroom, with the caption, "Bathroom makeover lol." The nail polish remover in the microwave. The TV with a high heel shoe print on the screen. My gaming setup with what turned out to be lipstick smeared on the monitor. The defense tried damage control. Your Honor, these were accidents. High spirits got the best of them. Counsel, are you seriously arguing that pouring nail polish remover into a microwave is an accident? Defense, they were trying to clean up. Judge, by destroying the microwave? Then the judge asked each defendant to stand and explain their actions. Sophia, I didn't mean to break the TV. I was just dancing and lost my balance. On top of a coffee table? It seemed sturdy. The hair dye was temporary, it should have washed out. From porcelain? I didn't know it would stain. The wine was an accident. The bottle was shaken from transport. The video shows you shaking it yourself. I was checking if it was carbonated? Red wine? But the entitlement piece de resistance came during sentencing. Judge Martinez found them all guilty of criminal mischief and vandalism, but before sentencing, she allowed them to make statements. Madison's mom stood up. Your Honor, these girls are pillars of their community. This conviction will ruin their futures. Over what amounts to a domestic dispute. Ma'am, this isn't a domestic dispute. Your daughter vandalized someone's home. Brittany's father. Your Honor, my daughter is in medical school. A conviction could end her career before it starts. Perhaps she should have considered that before causing thousands in damages. Then Sophia stood up herself. Your Honor, I just want to say that I think it's really unfair that we're here at all. We were just having fun. If Nolan had insurance, why does it even matter? He got his money. This feels like he's just being vindictive because Haley broke up with him. The judge's face was something to behold. Young lady, do you understand what accountability means? But we paid him back. After being charged criminally. After Mr. Williams had to file police reports, deal with insurance, and take time off work for these proceedings, you seem to think consequences only matter if they affect you. The sentence, 200 hours community service each, $500 fines each, restitution for any remaining damages, the $1,200 I was still out, 1 year probation, mandatory property respect classes. Didn't even know that was a thing. But the best part? Judge Martinez added, and I'm recommending to the probation department that your community service specifically involve cleaning and restoration projects. Perhaps spending 200 hours scrubbing graffiti and repairing vandalized property will give you perspective on the damage you caused. The wailing, the actual wailing. You'd think they'd been sentenced to hard labor. Outside the courthouse, Haley tried to approach me. Haley, I hope you're happy. You've ruined their lives. Me? They have community service and probation. They'll be fine. Brittany might get kicked out of med school. Actions have consequences. I can't believe I ever dated someone so heartless. I can't believe I dated someone who thinks destroying property is normal. She stomped off. But not before. I'm keeping your Netflix password. I changed it 3 weeks ago. Her face was priceless. It's been 2 months now. The apartment is fully repaired. I upgraded some stuff with the insurance money, better TV, stronger coffee table, gaming chair that doesn't match the couch, but I don't care. Brittany's still in med school but on probation. Has to do her community service on weekends. Saw her cleaning graffiti off an overpass last week. We made eye contact. She looked away first. Madison works retail now. The daycare thing didn't work out with a conviction. Sophia moved back in with her parents. Still posts about being a victim of the patriarchy, but the comments aren't as supportive anymore. Haley started dating some crypto bro who thinks NFTs are the future. They seem perfect for each other. Her Instagram is full of wealth mindset posts now. Me, I'm good. Learned a lot about boundaries, standards, and the importance of renter's insurance. Also learned that when someone tells you destruction of property is just what girls do, run. Run fast, run far, and definitely change your locks. The end. P.S. To everyone asking, yes, I have a new couch now. Yes, it's Scotch guarded. No, I don't have parties anymore. And yes, I installed security cameras. Trust but verify, folks. She posted on Instagram, a queen doesn't need a king. I commented, all hail. Then I called the bank and removed my name as the guarantor on her business loan. The Queen's castle came crumbling down in a single phone call. 32 male, I'm sitting here with a notification from my bank confirming that I'm no longer a guarantor on a certain business loan. It's been 48 hours since everything went down, and I'm still processing. But let me start from the beginning. Veronica, 29, and I had been together for 4 years. We met at a marketing conference when she was just starting her luxury lifestyle consulting business. Yeah, I know how that sounds now, but back then I was impressed. She had this whole vision, helping wealthy clients curate their lives, from interior design to travel planning to personal shopping. She was charismatic, ambitious, driven. I fell hard. About 2 years into dating, her business was struggling. She had some clients, but cash flow was rough. She needed a business loan to scale up, new office space in a trendy area, hiring assistants, marketing budget. Banks weren't biting. Her credit was shot from failed ventures in her early 20s, red flag I ignored, and her business financials were optimistic at best. That's when she asked me. I was making decent money as a software engineer, had good credit, owned my condo. Would I co-sign? No, wait. Actually, the bank said it would be better if I was a guarantor instead. Supposedly less complicated for her business structure. She swore it was just a formality. The business was about to explode. She just needed this boost. Like an idiot in love, I signed. $85,000 business loan. As guarantor, I wasn't a co-borrower, but I was on the hook if she defaulted. She made payments for a while. Sort of. Late sometimes, minimum payments, but the bank wasn't calling me, so I figured it was handled. Fast forward to this past Monday. I'm having lunch, scrolling through Instagram. There it is. Veronica, champagne glass in hand, some rooftop bar, professional photo shoot vibes. The caption, sometimes a queen realizes she's been playing in someone else's kingdom. Time to build my own empire. A queen doesn't need a king. New chapter, self-love, boss babe, know your worth. The comments were already flooding in. Her friends hyping her up. Yes, queen! Finally! You deserve so much better, babe. My stomach dropped. We'd had brunch together literally yesterday. Made plans for next weekend. Everything seemed normal, and she's announcing our breakup on Instagram before even telling me? I sat there for a minute, genuinely stunned. Then petty mode activated. I commented, all hail. Started getting texts from mutual friends within minutes. Dude, what happened? You okay? Meanwhile, radio silence from Veronica. That's when it clicked. The guarantor thing. If she's done with me, if this is how she wants to play it. Called my bank, 20-minute hold, finally got through to commercial lending, explained I needed to discuss a guarantee I'd signed. They transferred me around, but eventually I got someone who pulled up the loan. Sir, as a guarantor, you can't just remove yourself unilaterally. That would require the borrower to refinance or find another guarantor. I understand. What's the current status of the loan? Typing sounds. Long pause. Well, it's showing as irregular. 3 months behind on payments. We've been sending notices to the primary borrower. 3 months. Behind. So what happens if I formally notify you that my personal relationship with the borrower has ended and I'm concerned about the loan status? Another pause. We would likely initiate a review. If the loan is already in distress and the guarantor expresses concerns, we might accelerate collection procedures. Please initiate that review. Documented everything. The Instagram post, screenshot with timestamp, the bank call, reference number, the payment history they shared. Then I texted Veronica, "Saw your Instagram. Message received. FYI, I've notified the bank about our change in status. Good luck with your empire." Then I muted her messages and calls. Didn't block, wanted the evidence trail. The explosion started about 2 hours later. Update 1, holy crap, you guys. The entitlement is off the charts. So after my text, Veronica tried calling about 47 times that first day. I didn't answer. The voicemails progressed from, "Babe, we need to talk. This is all a misunderstanding. You're being really immature. Call me back now." Complete screaming meltdown Tuesday morning. She showed up at my condo building. Fortunately, I'd already given the front desk a heads up that we'd separated and she shouldn't be let up. She made quite a scene apparently. Security had to escort her out. But here's where it gets good. Wednesday, I get a call from her business lawyer, Marcus. This dude. The audacity. "My client is concerned about some actions you've taken regarding her business loan." Me, "Your client announced our relationship was over on social media. I simply informed the bank of our changed status." That was a personal expression of growth. It didn't mean. It literally said, "A queen doesn't need a king." Regardless, you have no right to sabotage her business. She's prepared to file. File what? I made no false statements to the bank. I'm a guarantor on a loan that's 3 months behind. I have every right to protect my interests. He started blustering about malicious intent and tortious interference until I cut him off. "Are you aware she's 3 months behind on payments?" Silence. "That's temporary cash flow issues. Every business. So you knew? And you're calling me? Interesting. Pretty sure I need my own lawyer now. We're done here?" Hung up. But Thursday is when the real fun started. The bank had clearly started their review because Veronica went nuclear. She made another Instagram post. This time, it was a Notes app screenshot, one of those long emotional dumps. I'll spare you the whole thing, but highlights included. I was financially abusive by stopping being her guarantor. I was intimidated by her success. What success? I couldn't handle a strong, independent woman who needed me to guarantee her loan. I was trying to destroy everything she built with whose credit? The best part? She ended with, "A real man would support his woman's dreams, not tear them down out of spite." My comment this time. A real queen pays her own bills. Her friends went absolutely rabid in the comments. My phone was blowing up with DMs calling me every name in the book. I just kept screenshotting everything. Then Friday happened. The bank called me. "Mr. Name? We've completed our review of the loan you guaranteed. Given the payment history and current status, we're moving to accelerate the full balance. As guarantor, you'd be liable if the primary borrower cannot pay the $73,000 remaining balance. However, we'll first attempt to work with the borrower on resolution." $73,000. She'd barely made a dent in the principal. I asked what their next steps would be. They said they'd already sent formal notice to Veronica demanding full payment or a meeting to discuss options. Refinancing, which she'd never qualify for, payment plan, which she couldn't afford, or surrender of collateral, which was basically nothing. The loan was mostly unsecured except for some equipment. An hour later, my phone rang. Veronica's mom, Diane. "Diane, what have you done?" "Hello to you too, Diane. You vindictive little man, how dare you try to ruin my daughter? Your daughter ruined herself when she stopped paying the loan I guaranteed. She's been putting everything into growing the business. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Like sacrificing loan payments while posting champagne photos on Instagram? You're just jealous. She was always too good for you." Apparently the banks agree. That's why she needed my signature. She cursed me out for another minute before I hung up. Saturday morning, 7 a.m., someone's banging on my door. Look through the peephole. It's Veronica with some guy I don't recognize. I don't open it, just called building security. They escort them both out. I get a text from an unknown number. That was her new investor, Bradley. We wanted to discuss buying out your guarantee position. Your loss. She's about to close major deals. You'll regret this. Sure, Jan. Update 2. The audacity keeps escalating, people. I can't even. So after the investor Bradley incident, things went quiet for a few days. I figured Veronica was scrambling to figure out the bank situation. I was partially right, but oh, the lengths she went to. First, I need to explain something I learned from my lawyer. Yes, I got one. As a guarantor, I couldn't just remove myself from the loan like I initially thought. What I actually did was notify the bank of a material change in circumstances that made me concerned about the loan. Because it was already in default, this triggered their review process. The bank could have chosen to do nothing, but given the payment history, they decided to accelerate. Important distinction. Anyway, Veronica tried several approaches over these 3 weeks. Week 1, the guilt campaign. Her friends started reaching out. Not the rabid Instagram defenders, but mutual friends from over the years. The conversations all followed the same script. Hey, how are you holding up? Look, I'm not taking sides, but don't you think you're being a bit harsh? She's really struggling. Maybe you could just give her time? One of them, Jessica, let slip that Veronica was coaching them on what to say. Apparently, there was a group chat where she was strategizing how to get me to see reason. Week 2, the business emergency. This was peak comedy. Veronica suddenly had a massive client deal that would solve everything. She needed just 2 weeks to close it. The bank would get their money, I'd be off the hook, everyone wins. She had Bradley, the investor, call me directly. This man, I don't know where she found him. Bradley, listen bro, I've seen her books. She's sitting on 6 figures of pending contracts. 6 figures of pending contracts, but 3 months behind on a $1,500 monthly payment? Cash flow, bro. It's all about timing. I'm prepared to invest once she closes these deals. Then why doesn't she show these contracts to the bank? It's complicated. Very high-profile clients, NDAs and such. Well, she can work that out with the bank directly. He tried to keep talking, but I hung up. Did some LinkedIn stalking later. Bradley was a serial entrepreneur whose last 3 companies all dissolved within a year. Perfect match for Veronica, honestly. Week 3, the legal threats. Marcus the lawyer was back, this time with a formal letter. They were demanding I, 1, withdraw my false and defamatory statements to the bank. 2, pay damages for business interference. 3, issue a public apology for my harassing Instagram comments. My lawyer laughed, actually laughed. Her response letter was beautiful. No false statements were made. Notifying a bank of legitimate concerns as a guarantor is not interference. 2 Instagram comments on public posts are not harassment. Counter notice that any further baseless threats would result in a harassment claim from me. Then came Thursday. The bank had given Veronica 30 days to resolve the loan. That deadline was approaching. She'd apparently tried everything, applying for other loans, denied, finding a new guarantor, no takers, negotiating a payment plan, couldn't demonstrate ability to pay. So she did what any rational person would do. She threw a party. I'm not kidding. Full-blown farewell to my first office party, posted all over Instagram. Champagne, catered food, a DJ, in the office space she was about to lose. The posts were incredible. Sometimes you have to close one door to open another. Grateful for the memories in this space as I upgrade to bigger and better. A setback is just a setup for a comeback. Her friends ate it up. So inspirational. Your strength is amazing. Can't wait to see your next chapter. I couldn't resist. Commented on the party pic, champagne taste on a defaulted loan budget. This time, Veronica responded publicly, still obsessed I see. Some of us are too busy building empires to worry about bitter exes. Security is coming to remove you if you show up. Have boundaries. Moving on. Security? At her going out of business party? I screenshotted that gem for my lawyer. But the real kicker came that night. Got a text from an unknown number. This is Diane. My daughter is in tears. That party was meant to be a positive goodbye, and you ruined it with your comment. She's been hospitalized for stress. I hope you're happy. We're suing you for emotional distress and the medical bills. Hospitalized for stress because of an Instagram comment on her own post about a party she threw. while defaulting on a loan. You can't make this stuff up. Final update. Alright, last update because this saga is finally over and honestly, I'm exhausted from even thinking about it. So after the stress hospitalization, which was apparently just a panic attack at urgent care, not an actual admission, things ramped up to extinction-level entitlement. The last-ditch effort. 4 days before the bank's final deadline, Veronica made one more play. She showed up at my office, not inside, security wouldn't let her in, but she waited by my car in the parking garage. I saw her from a distance and almost turned around, but I figured I'd see what fresh insanity she had planned. I kept my phone recording in my pocket. Veronica, we need to talk like adults. We're talking. I found a solution. I just need you to sign one document. She pulled out papers. It was a personal loan application, with me as the primary borrower. She wanted me to take out a $75,000 personal loan, give her the money to pay off the business loan, and then she'd pay me back within 6 months. Me, are you seriously asking me to take out a loan to pay off the loan you defaulted on? It's not like that. This gives us both time. Your credit won't be affected, and I can focus on my business without the bank breathing down my neck. No. You owe me this. 4 years together, I supported your career. You lived rent-free in my condo while building a business that apparently never made money. That's when she snapped, full screaming meltdown in the parking garage. You're trying to destroy me. You never believed in me. You're intimidated by successful women. Security showed up. I left while they were dealing with her. Found out later she was banned from the property. The end of the empire. The deadline came. Veronica couldn't pay. The bank moved to collect from me as guarantor. Here's the thing though. I'd been preparing for this. My lawyer had advised me that as guarantor, I'd have the right to pursue Veronica for any amount I had to pay. So I let the bank know I was prepared to pay, but would be immediately filing against Veronica for the full amount plus legal fees. Suddenly, Veronica's massive deals materialized into settlement negotiations. The bank agreed to a deed in lieu arrangement where she surrendered all business assets worth maybe $15,000, some furniture, computers, equipment, and signed a payment plan for the remaining balance. I had to pay $45,000 as guarantor, but I got a judgment against Veronica for that amount, plus my legal fees. Her Instagram went dark for about a week. When she came back, it was with a whole new persona. Wellness coach now. Posts about rising from the ashes and finding peace in simplicity. She'd moved back in with her parents. The aftermath was crazy. You'd think it would end there. Nope. Bradley, the investor, started his own Instagram campaign about how I was a dream killer who couldn't handle feminine power. He had maybe 200 followers and his posts got like 12 likes each, but he was committed. Daily posts about toxic masculinity and supporting women entrepreneurs. Someone sent me screenshots of him trying to start a GoFundMe for Veronica's business revival. It raised $47. Diane, Veronica's mom, sent me a formal demand for the medical bills from the stress hospitalization. My lawyer responded with a copy of the judgment against Veronica and a reminder that harassment has legal consequences. Haven't heard from her since. Best part? About 2 weeks ago, I get a DM from Jessica, one of Veronica's friends who'd tried to guilt me. She wanted to know if I'd be interested in coffee because she'd always thought we had a connection, and now that I was available, I didn't even respond. The audacity is apparently contagious in that friend group. Where things stand. I'm out $45, which hurts. But I've got a judgment against Veronica, and my lawyer says we can garnish wages once she's employed. Given her new wellness coach venture, that might be a while, but the judgment is good for 10 years and renewable. She's still posting inspirational quotes about new beginnings and embracing minimalism, aka being broke. Last week she posted about how material possessions never defined her worth, which is rich coming from someone who used to brag about her designer bags. I've moved on. Learn some expensive lessons. 1. Never guarantee a loan for anyone you're not married to. 2. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. 3. A real queen doesn't need a king or his credit score. The funniest part? That original Instagram post is still up. The one about not needing a king. My all hail comment is still there too, with 847 likes last I checked. Sometimes go back and read the comments for a laugh. Her empire sure came crumbling down fast. I'm done with this chapter. Currently dating someone new who, wait for it, has her own excellent credit score and 0 business loans. Romantic, I know. Thanks for following along on this insane ride. Remember folks, love is grand, but protect your credit. Peace out. She said, you need to do the work on your toxic masculinity. I replied, self-improvement is key. I joined a men's group. My first breakthrough was realizing the most toxic thing in my life was her. She was stunned when I broke up with her, citing her own advice. I, 32 male, just ended things with Margot, 30, after 2.5 years. The conversation went something like this. I've been doing the work you suggested on my toxic masculinity, and I've had a breakthrough. Oh my God, finally! What did you realize? That the most toxic thing in my life is this relationship. The silence was deafening. Then came the explosion. But let me back up. 6 months ago, Margot started really hammering on this toxic masculinity thing. Everything I did was somehow problematic. Watched the game with friends, toxic sports culture. Went to the gym, obsession with physical dominance. Didn't cry during a sad movie? Emotional repression. Fixed her car myself instead of calling AAA. Need to be the hero. Disagreed with her about literally anything? Mansplaining. The breaking point was when her sister visited. I grilled steaks for dinner. Margot's commentary, see how he has to control the grill? Classic toxic masculinity. He won't even let me cook the meat. You've never wanted to grill, I pointed out. That's not the point, Asher. It's about the patriarchal assumption that men control fire and meat. Her sister just stared at her plate. That night, Margot sent me 12 articles about toxic masculinity. TED Talks, Instagram infographics, the works. You need to do the work, she said. I can't be with someone who refuses to grow. What specifically should I work on? If you have to ask, that's part of the problem. Real growth comes from within. So, therapy? Men's groups are good, but find one focused on deconstructing masculinity, not just guys complaining about women. Fine, I'd try. Found a men's group through my local community center. Men supporting men. Met Thursday nights at the library. First meeting, I expected a bunch of guys apologizing for existing. Instead, dudes from all walks of life. Teachers, mechanics, lawyers, retail workers, ages 22 to 65. The facilitator, Jerome, opened with, this is a space for men to support each other in becoming better versions of themselves. Not better for anyone else's definition, better for ourselves. Week 1 I mostly listened. Guys talked about divorce, job loss, depression, fatherhood, real stuff. No one mentioned toxicity. Week 2, I shared why I was there. My girlfriend says I have toxic masculinity, trying to work on it. What makes it toxic? Jerome asked. I listed Margot's complaints. The room was quiet. Then this older guy, Walter, spoke up. Son, does she ever say what you do right? I thought about it. Really thought. Not recently? When's the last time she built you up instead of tearing you down? Couldn't remember. Week 3, homework was to journal about our relationships. Write down interactions, look for patterns. The patterns were illuminating. Monday, made Margot coffee. She criticized how I stirred it. Clockwise is aggressive, counterclockwise is gentler. Tuesday, suggested a restaurant. Why do you always have to decide where we eat? Let her pick. Why do I have to do all the emotional labor of choosing? Wednesday, complimented her presentation for work. Classic male need to validate women's work like we need your approval. Thursday, didn't compliment her outfit. You never notice anything I wear. Opened her car door. I'm capable of opening doors, Asher. Didn't open it next time. Wow, chivalry really is dead. Brought the journal to group. Anyone else see the pattern? Jerome asked after I read some entries. Everyone did. You're in a no-win situation, said Marcus, a divorced dad. Everything you do is wrong because she decided you're wrong. But what if I do have toxic traits? Maybe you do, Jerome said. We all have areas to improve, but healthy partners help us grow. They don't tear us down and call it help. Week 4, we discussed boundaries. I realized I had none with Margot. She criticized everything and I just took it. Why? Jerome asked. Because she's trying to help me be better? Is she? Or is she trying to make you smaller? That hit different. Week 5, Margot noticed changes, not good ones in her opinion. You're getting defensive lately, I'm setting boundaries. See? Defensive. You should be thanking me for helping you grow. Growth through constant criticism? It's not criticism, it's observation. God, your toxic masculinity is getting worse. What are they teaching you at that group? Self-respect? She laughed. Actually laughed. Men centering themselves. Typical. That night, I made a decision. Week 6, told the group I was thinking of leaving her. What's stopping you? Walter asked. We live together. Share a lease. She'll make it hell. It's already hell, Marcus pointed out. Fair. Week 7, started preparing, found subletter options, researched tenant rights, documented everything. Week 8 was Thanksgiving, Margot's family gathering. The final straw happened there. Her cousin brought her new boyfriend. Nice guy, software developer. Margot spent the evening pointing out his toxic traits to me. See how he serves her plate first? Performative chivalry. Notice how he mentions his job? Male need for status. Watch how he sits, taking up space, manspreading. The poor guy was just existing. After dinner, Margot's mom pulled me aside. Asher, honey, can I ask you something? Sure, Linda. Are you happy? The question broke something in me. No, I'm really not. I didn't think so. You know, Margot's been like this since college. Women's studies changed her, not in a good way. She means well. No, sweetie, she doesn't. She likes feeling superior, always has. That night, driving home, Margot continued her critique. Your toxic masculinity was on full display. How you had to help Dad with the TV. How you ate seconds without asking. How you... I'm done. What? I'm done. With this. With us. I've been doing the work like you asked, and I've realized the most toxic thing in my life is this relationship. She laughed. That condescending laugh. You can't break up with me for helping you grow. Watch me. This is exactly what toxic men do. Abandon women who challenge them. No, this is what healthy people do. Leave relationships that tear them down. Where is this coming from? That stupid men's group? The group helped me see what was already there. You don't love me, Margot. You love having someone to fix, to feel superior to. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to help you. Name one thing you like about me, right now. One thing I do right. Silence. Then, I love your potential. My potential, not me. My potential to become what you want. That's growth. That's control. We got home. I slept on the couch. Started packing the next morning. You're seriously doing this? She stood in the doorway, arms crossed. Yes. Over constructive feedback, over constant criticism disguised as help, you'll never find someone who invests in your growth like I have. God, I hope not. This is traumatic behavior, Asher, walking away when things get challenging. No, staying in emotional abuse because it's familiar is traumatic behavior. I'm choosing health. Abuse? I'm helping you. Helping looks like support, encouragement, building up, not tearing down every single thing I do. Classic Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. Margot, you literally just described what you do. She threw a coffee mug. It shattered against the wall. See? I said calmly. Who's toxic here? You made me do that. Your aggression triggered me. I'm packing boxes. That's not aggressive. Your energy is aggressive. I kept packing. She kept yelling. Recorded it all on my phone, just in case. 3 hours later, my car was loaded. Half the furniture was mine, but I only took essentials. Not worth the fight. Where will you go? She actually looked panicked now. Friend's couch until I find a place. This is insane. We can work through this. Couples therapy? So you can tell a therapist how toxic I am for $200 an hour? Pass. I'll work on my communication style. It's not your style, Margot. It's your belief that I'm fundamentally broken and need fixing. Everyone needs to grow. Growth, yes. Complete reconstruction because you've decided masculinity itself is toxic? No, you're making a huge mistake. Maybe. But it's my mistake to make. I left. She called 47 times that day. Texts ranged from please come back to you're an abusive narcissist to I'm keeping your PlayStation. Joke's on her. I took the PlayStation. Update 1. The entitlement started immediately. Day 1 post-breakup, she sent an itemized bill for her emotional labor during our relationship. I kid you not. Educating you on feminism, 300 hours at $50 hour, equal 15,000. Correcting toxic behaviors, 500 hours at $75 hour, equals 37,500. Emotional damage from your resistance to growth, 10,000. Sudden abandonment trauma, 25,000. Total, $87,500. I texted back, lol no. She threatened small claims court. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend Dominic from the men's group. He laughed for 5 straight minutes. Please tell me she sent this in writing. Email and text. Christmas came early. Save everything. Day 3, she showed up at my friend Corey's place where I was staying. We need to talk like adults, she announced. We did. I said we're done. You can't just decide that unilaterally. That's literally how breakups work. In healthy relationships, both parties agree. This wasn't a healthy relationship. She tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked the doorway. Move, Asher. No. This is physical intimidation. This is me standing in a doorway of a place you don't live. I'll call the police. Please do. Explain how your ex-boyfriend won't let you into his friend's apartment. She stomped off, but not before keying my car. Yeah. Got her on Corey's Ring camera doing it too. Day 5, the social media campaign began. But not how you'd expect. She went full wellness influencer. Posted a series about surviving narcissistic abuse with photos of us where I'm cropped out. Quoted bell hooks. Brené Brown. Made herself the poster child for healing from toxic masculinity. The captions were wild. When you realize your empathy was used against you. Healing from someone who weaponized their growth journey. He said I was too helpful. Classic narc behavior. The comments were initially supportive until her sister Daphne chimed in. Margot, you literally spent Thanksgiving calling his breathing pattern toxic. Margot deleted the comment. Daphne posted screenshots on her own page. Since my sister wants to play victim publicly, here's the truth. She emotionally abused this man for years under the guise of helping. I watched it, we all did. Asher, if you see this, I'm sorry we didn't speak up sooner. The comments shifted. People who knew us started sharing their observations. Remember when you made him apologize for sneezing too loud? Didn't you tell him his laugh was aggressive? You said his way of loading the dishwasher was misogynistic. Margot's response? She made her account private and sent Daphne a cease and desist she drafted herself. Legally meaningless, but dramatically written. Day 8, I found an apartment. Small studio, month-to-month lease. Perfect for starting over. Margot somehow found out, showed up during move-in with printed articles. I've been researching, she announced. You might have narcissistic personality disorder. Based on? Your refusal to accept feedback. Your abandonment of our growth journey. Your toxic need for independence. Independence is toxic now? When used to avoid accountability? Yes. My new neighbor, an elderly woman named Rosetta, watched this unfold from her doorway. Young man, is this person bothering you? I'm his girlfriend. Margot snapped. Ex-girlfriend, I corrected. Oh honey, Rosetta said to me, want me to call building security? I'm helping him. Margot protested. Doesn't look like he wants your help, Rosetta observed. He doesn't know what he wants. He's in a toxic masculinity spiral. Rosetta looked at me, then at Margot. Sugar, the only toxic thing I see here is you harassing this nice young man. Margot left, but not before slipping printed articles under my door. Signs your partner is a covert narcissist. When men weaponize therapy, the danger of men's rights groups. That last one made me laugh. My men's group spent last week discussing healthy cooking and work-life balance. Real dangerous stuff. Day 10, she tried a new approach. Showed up with a gift basket, organic tea, a journal, a book called Unpacking Privilege. I realize I came on too strong, she said. I want to support your journey, not control it. Margot, we're not together anymore. I know, this is friendship, platonic support. I don't want that either. You're isolating yourself. That's concerning behavior. I have friends, a support group. I'm not isolated. Male echo chambers don't count. Goodbye, Margot. This conversation isn't over. Yes, it is. She left the basket. I gave it to Rosetta. She loved the tea. Day 14, the escalation really began, but I'll save that for the next update. Just know it involves her mom, a wellness retreat, and the police. The men's group has been my lifeline. Last meeting, Jerome asked how I was doing. Free, I said. For the first time in years, I feel free. That's growth, Walter said. Real growth, not whatever she was selling. Still feel guilty sometimes, like maybe I should have tried harder. Tried harder to what? Marcus asked. Disappear? Become whatever she wanted? That's not growth, brother. That's death. He was right. Margot wanted me to do the work. I did, just not the way she expected, and the work led me away from her. Funny how that happens. Update 2. Remember how I mentioned her mom and a wellness retreat? Yeah, that was just the beginning. Day 15, Margot's mom Linda called, the same woman who pulled me aside at Thanksgiving. Asher, I need your help. Linda, I don't think. Please, just hear me out. Margot's spiraling. She signed up for a $3,000 wellness retreat to heal from narcissistic abuse. She can't afford it. That's not my problem anymore. I know, but she's telling everyone you financially abused her too, controlled the money. We split everything 50-50. I have Venmo receipts. Could you share those? Just to prove she's lying? I thought about it. Linda, no disrespect, but Margot needs to face consequences. Bailing her out won't help. You're right. God, you're right. I don't know what happened to my daughter. She got addicted to being right, to being the victim and the hero at the same time. Linda was quiet. Then, that's exactly it. Thank you for seeing it clearly. Day 18, Margot went to the retreat anyway, maxed out a credit card, posted constantly about her healing journey. The retreat was something. Decolonizing your heart, a woman's journey away from toxic love. She live-tweeted epiphanies, realizing how I dimmed my light to make him comfortable. My facilitator says I have excessive empathy disorder from giving too much, learning to reclaim my voice after years of silencing. Her sister Daphne texted me screenshots. I cannot with her. You dodged a nuclear missile. Day 20, midway through the retreat, Margot had a breakthrough, called me at 2 a.m. from a blocked number. I forgive you, she whispered. What? I've done the work. I forgive you for your limitations, for being unable to meet me at my level of consciousness. Margot, I'm hanging up. Wait. My facilitator says closure requires daily. Click. She called back 6 times. I turned off my phone. Day 22, she returned from the retreat, transformed. New crystals, new vocabulary, same entitlement, showed up at the men's group location. Yeah. She stalked the community center until she figured out where we met. Burst in during Marcus's share about co-parenting challenges. This is where you got poisoned against me. 15 men stared at her. Jerome stood calmly. Ma'am, this is a private meeting. I know what this is, a toxic masculinity support group. You're enabling each other's worst impulses. Ma'am, please leave, she pointed at me. You turned him against growth, against evolution. Walter, 65-year-old Vietnam vet, stood up. Lady, the only thing we turned him against was your bullshit. How dare you? No, Jerome interrupted. How dare you? This is a safe space for men supporting each other. You're trespassing. Safe space? Men don't need safe spaces. You have the whole world. Security is on the way, Jerome said calmly. She turned to me. This is what you choose? These toxic enablers over someone who loved your potential? Yes, I said simply. Security arrived. She left screaming about lawsuits and patriarchy. The group was silent. Then Marcus said, Brother, I apologize for every time I thought you were exaggerating. That was intense, said Kai, our youngest member at 22. That, Jerome said, was a masterclass in emotional manipulation. Did you all notice how she made herself the victim while actively aggressing? We spent the rest of the session processing what happened. It was actually therapeutic. Day 25, legal threats arrived. Not from a real lawyer. From Margot's legal consultant, aka her friend who took 1 semester of pre-law, claimed I owed damages for abandonment trauma, theft of emotional investment, sabotage of growth journey, defamation by truth. Yes, really. Dominic from the group responded on official letterhead. Dear Miss Margot, truth is an absolute defense against defamation. No money is owed for ending a relationship. Please cease contact with my client. P.S. Defamation by truth is not a legal concept. Day 28, she tried getting me fired. Called my workplace claiming I was dangerous and shouldn't work with the public. My manager Kenji called me in. So, got an interesting call about you. My heart sank. Sir, I can explain. No need. She claimed you were in a dangerous men's group plotting against women, then said you abandoned her during a spiritual awakening, then accused you of theft of emotional labor? I'm so sorry. Asher, relax, it was clearly unhinged, but document this for HR, get a restraining order. Already working on it. Good. Also, she said you're in therapy? A men's support group, yeah. Good for you, more people should. Day 30, court date for the restraining order. I had texts demanding $87,500, ring footage of her keying my car, security footage from the men's group incident, recorded calls and voicemails, screenshots of false accusations. She showed up with printed articles about narcissistic abuse, a spirit advisor as a character witness, a PowerPoint about toxic masculinity. The judge stopped her on slide 3. Ms. Margot, none of this is relevant to whether you've harassed Mr. Asher. But I'm showing context. He abandoned me during vulnerable growth. Breaking up isn't harassment. Teeing cars is. Disrupting support groups is. Making false reports to employers is. Those were activism. Those were crimes. Restraining order granted. 1 year, no contact. As we left court, she yelled, "This is spiritual bypassing. You're avoiding the work." Her mom was there, looked exhausted, mouthed, "I'm sorry" to me. That evening, the men's group had a pizza party. Partially to celebrate my freedom, mostly because Jerome got a promotion. "How you feeling?" Walter asked. "Like I survived a cult." "You kind of did," Jerome said. "The cult of perpetual victimhood." "I actually learned a lot, though. About boundaries, self-respect, real growth." "That's the irony," Marcus added. "She pushed you to do the work, and the work led you away from her." "Think she'll ever get it?" Kai asked. We all looked at him. Sweet summer child. "No," everyone said simultaneously. Last I heard, Margot started a YouTube channel, Healing from Hidden Narcissism. Has 39 subscribers. Posted one video about how men's groups are radicalizing vulnerable males. The comments are all from her mom begging her to get actual therapy. Meanwhile, I'm thriving. Got promoted. Turns out, being less stressed makes you better at your job. Started dating casually, nothing serious, just remembering what healthy interaction looks like. The men's group continues weekly. We added a book club, currently reading The Body Keeps the Score. Fascinating stuff about trauma. Real growth work, it turns out, doesn't involve tearing anyone down. It's about building yourself up, supporting others, learning to recognize manipulation. Margot taught me a lot, just not what she intended. She wanted me to work on my toxic masculinity. Instead, I worked on recognizing toxic people. Best education I never asked for. My girlfriend said, "I'm going to a wedding in New York for a week." I found out it was her ex's wedding. I said, "Have a great time." Then I sent the bride a wedding gift, some pictures and chat history between my girlfriend and the groom. And then, I, 28 male, just waved goodbye to my girlfriend Tessa, 26, at the airport yesterday morning. She's flying to her college friend's wedding for a week. We've been together 18 months, living together for 6, except it's not her college friend's wedding. It's her ex-boyfriend Silas's wedding. And I have the receipts. Literally. This started 3 weeks ago. Tessa mentioned casually over dinner that she'd be gone for a week in early November. Lindsay from college is getting married. I'm so excited. Haven't seen that whole crew in forever. Cool. Where's the wedding? Upstate New York. Beautiful venue, apparently. She asked me to come early to help with setup, since I'm one of the few single girls who can take time off. Made sense. Tessa works remote as a graphic designer. Flexible schedule. Want me to come? I could work from the hotel. Oh no, it's super small. Plus, you'd be bored with all the girl talk and wedding prep stuff. Fine. I'm not big on weddings anyway, but something felt off about how quickly she shut down my offer. Usually, she's begging me to come to events. Then came the slip-ups. First one, she was shopping for a dress and held up this stunning deep green number. Think this is too much? I know green is Silas's favorite color, but she caught herself. I mean, it's Lindsay's wedding colors, green and gold. Who's Silas? Oh, the groom. Lindsay's fiancé. I always mix up names. Weird, but okay. Second one. She was booking her flight, and I saw over her shoulder. Round trip to Albany. Albany? I thought you said the city. It's closer to the venue, cheaper than flying into JFK. Maybe. But she'd specifically said New York City earlier. Third one. The killer. She left out on the couch while showering. A message notification popped up. Silas M. Can't wait to see you. Elena doesn't know you're coming. This week is going to be incredible. My chest went cold. Silas, her ex-Silas. The one who broke her heart 2 years ago when he chose career over love. I didn't confront her. Instead, I did something maybe ethically questionable. I checked her messages while she was in the shower. The thread with Silas went back 2 months. Started innocent enough, him reaching out about the wedding, asking if she was coming. Then it escalated. Silas, I know this is wrong, but I keep thinking about that night before I left. We said we wouldn't talk about that. I'm getting married in 2 months and all I can think about is you. Stop. Elena's perfect for you. Is she though? We both know why I'm really doing this. Your parents love her. The business connection makes sense. See? You get it. You get me. Always have. The messages got worse. Plans to meet up before the wedding. Him talking about having doubts. Her saying she just wanted him to be happy but clearly fishing for more. Then, 3 days ago, Silas. Booked you the room next to mine at the hotel. Elena thinks it's for my cousin. This is a bad idea. Probably. See you Thursday. I screenshot everything, sent them to my cloud storage, then put the iPad back exactly where I found it. For 3 days, I watched her pack, watched her lie about Lindsay this and Lindsay that, watched her buy lingerie because hotel laundry is expensive and I need extra pairs. Sure, Tessa. Sure. Yesterday morning, I drove her to the airport, kissed her goodbye, told her to have fun, watched her walk through security. Then I went home and started my own project. Found the wedding website easily. Silas Merriweather and Elena Rodriguez. November 3rd, the Cypress Estate. Found Elena's Instagram. Sweet girl. Pediatric nurse. Lots of photos of her and Silas looking genuinely happy. Recent post about final week before I become Mrs. Merriweather. I felt bad for her. She deserved to know. So I created a gift registry at Crate & Barrel. One item, a digital photo frame. Had it shipped express to the venue. Attention, Elena Rodriguez. Gift message. Thought you should see these before Saturday. Consider it an early wedding gift, a concerned friend. Loaded the frame with screenshots of every message between Silas and Tessa. The hotel booking confirmation showing adjoining rooms. Tessa's flight details showing she'd been lying about the dates. A photo of Tessa from her Instagram story yesterday, clearly at Albany Airport despite telling me she was already at Lindsay's. Set it to slideshow mode, plugged it in, shipped it out. Delivery confirmation came an hour ago. Package delivered to Cypress Estate front desk. Signed for by E. Rodriguez. My phone's been silent. Tessa hasn't texted since landing, which is unusual. She always texts when she lands. I'm sitting here with a beer, waiting for the explosion. Probably should feel worse about nuking a wedding. But if I were Elena, I'd want to know. And if I were Silas, I wouldn't marry someone while planning to cheat with my ex. As for Tessa, well, she wanted to go to Silas's wedding so badly. Hope she enjoys it. Update 1. The explosion came faster than expected. Last night around 11 p.m. my phone started buzzing. Not Tessa, her friend Mariah. What did you do? I played dumb. What are you talking about? Tessa just called me sobbing, said you did something to ruin Silas's wedding? I thought she was at Lindsay's wedding? Silence. Then, she told you Lindsay? Yeah, her college friend Lindsay. That's whose wedding she's at, right? Oh my God, she's so stupid. Nolan, how did you find out? Find out what, Mariah? Don't play games. She said Elena got some kind of package? No idea what you're talking about. Tessa's been lying to me? Mariah hung up. Guess she didn't want to be the one to confirm it. 20 minutes later, Tessa called. I let it go to voicemail. Nolan, I know you're awake. Pick up. Please. This is insane. What you did is insane. Call me back. Second voicemail. You ruined everything. Elena's called off the wedding. Silas's parents are freaking out. There are people here from 5 countries. Do you know what you've done? Third, I'm coming home tomorrow. We need to talk. Fourth, actually no, I'm staying. Someone needs to help fix this mess. I can't believe you'd be this vindictive. This morning, I woke up to 37 texts. Let me share the highlights. 5:47 a.m. Elena won't stop crying. The venue is demanding payment anyway. Silas's dad is threatening to sue someone. How could you do this to innocent people? You had no right to interfere. This isn't just about us. You've ruined lives. I hope you're happy. Then the best one. Just so you know, nothing happened between us. We were just talking. Right? That's why you flew across the country and got a room next to his. I finally responded, hey, hope Lindsay's wedding is going well. Weather looks beautiful there. She called immediately. I answered. Drop the act, she snarled. You know exactly what wedding I'm at. Oh, is Lindsay marrying someone named Silas? What a coincidence. This isn't funny. Neither is lying to your boyfriend for 3 weeks. It wasn't. You don't understand the situation. Enlighten me. Deep breath. Silas and I have history. Complicated history. He reached out about the wedding and we started talking. Just as friends. Friends who book adjoining hotel rooms? Silence. How did you even? You left your iPad open. You went through my messages. That's a violation of privacy. And lying about where you're going isn't a violation of trust. I knew you'd react like this. That's why I didn't tell you. React like what? Upset that my girlfriend is planning to hook up with her ex. We weren't gonna hook up, then why the adjoining rooms? Why the lingerie? Why lie about whose wedding it was? I don't know, okay? I was confused. Silas and I never got closure. When he reached out, all these feelings came back. Feelings you acted on. No, we just talked. Tessa, he literally said he's only marrying Elena for business reasons. And you validated that. You were actively participating in emotional cheating at minimum. That's not, you're twisting things. I'm literally quoting your messages. She switched tactics. Fine, maybe I crossed a line, but what you did is so much worse. You destroyed a wedding. Elena's devastated. Her family flew in from Puerto Rico. Elena deserves someone who actually wants to marry her, not someone planning to cheat from day one. You don't know Silas. He would have been faithful once they were married. He's literally been texting his ex for 2 months about having doubts. Because he needed closure. We both did. And you were going to get that closure in adjoining hotel rooms? Stop saying that like it means something. It literally means something. She was crying now. Angry tears, not sad ones. You've ruined my life. I can't show my face here. Everyone knows I'm the ex he was talking to. Actions have consequences. Oh, spare me the sanctimony. You're not some hero. You're a petty, vindictive asshole who couldn't handle a little uncertainty. Uncertainty? You lied about where you were going, who you were seeing, and what you were doing. That's not uncertainty. That's deception. I was going to tell you when I got back. Tell me what? That you spent a week with your ex? That you maybe hooked up? Or were you going to keep lying? I don't know. At least that was honest. Look, she continued, I'm sorry I lied, but what happens now? Silas is single, I'm here, and you've made it clear we're over. We're not over because I sent Elena evidence. We're over because you lied and went to your ex's wedding planning to whatever you were planning. So that's it? 18 months just gone? Yeah, Tessa. That's it? What about my stuff? I'll box it up. You can arrange pickup when you get back. You're really gonna throw me out over this? You threw us away when you got on that plane. I hate you. Cool. Enjoy the non-wedding. I hung up. An hour later, unknown number called. I answered. Is this Nolan? Woman's voice, slight accent. Who's this? Elena Rodriguez. I was supposed to be Elena Merriweather. My stomach dropped. Elena, I'm so sorry. No, don't apologize. You saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. I just thought you should know. I need to ask, how long have they been talking? From what I saw, about 2 months, but from their messages, it seems like there's a longer history. He told me she was completely out of his life, said he hadn't talked to her since they broke up. I'm sorry. She laughed, but it was bitter. You know the funny part? I always felt like something was off, like he was holding part of himself back. Now I know why. For what it's worth, you seem like a great person. You deserve better. I do. Thank you for reminding me of that. And Nolan, get yourself tested if she was willing to lie about this. The implication hung there. Yeah, will do. Take care of yourself. She hung up. Classy woman. Silas is an idiot. The drama continues to unfold via social media. Apparently, the venue is a mess. Half the guests have left. Silas's parents are trying to salvage something by turning it into a family reunion. The wedding planner is having a breakdown. And Tessa posted an Instagram story an hour ago. She's at a bar with some of the wedding guests, martini in hand, caption, when life gives you lemons. No mention of a boyfriend back home, no acknowledgement of what she did. Just playing the victim at her ex's canceled wedding. She can stay there for all I care. Already changed the locks. Update 2. Tessa came home today and brought back up. I was working from home when I heard the key in the lock, then confusion as it didn't work, then banging. Nolan, open the door. I took my time. Opened it to find Tessa, her mother Francine, and some guy I didn't recognize. You changed the locks? Tessa's face was blotchy. She looked rough. Yeah, Wednesday. You can't just walk into other people's homes. Other people? I live here. Lived past tense. Francine stepped forward. Nolan, don't be ridiculous. Let us in so we can discuss this like adults. No thanks. Tessa can get her stuff from the storage unit. Storage unit? Yeah. Didn't want her things cluttering my apartment. It's the public storage on 5th. Unit 308. Here's the key. I held out the key. Tessa didn't take it. You can't just kick me out. I have rights. The guy who'd been quiet finally spoke. Actually, if you're not on the lease and he gave you notice... Shut up, Brendan. Tessa snapped. Ah, the new boyfriend already. That was fast. Is this Silas? I asked, knowing it wasn't. No, Brendan said, looking uncomfortable. I'm just a friend. Friend who flew back with her from her ex's wedding? He shifted. It's not like that. Sure it's not. Francine tried again. Nolan, Tessa made a mistake, but this reaction is extreme. She needs her home. She should have thought about that before lying to me for 3 weeks. People make mistakes in relationships. This wasn't a mistake, it was a series of calculated lies. Tessa's phone rang. She answered it, stepping away. I caught fragments. No, he won't. Storage unit. I know. Tell him I'll call him back. She hung up, came back angrier. That was Silas. He's getting sued by the venue. The Rodriguezes are suing his family for deposits. His dad cut him off. Are you happy? Why would I care about Silas's problems? Because you caused them. No, his decision to emotionally cheat with you caused them. I just made sure Elena knew about it. It wasn't cheating. We never even kissed. This time, that shut her up, because we both knew what I was referencing. That night before I left, Silas mentioned in the texts. Brendan looked between us, clearly realizing he was in over his head. Maybe we should go, he suggested to Tessa. We're not going anywhere until I get my things. They're in storage. I just gave you the key. My immediate things, medications, work laptop, personal items. I'd actually kept those separate, knowing she'd need them. Had a box ready by the door. I grabbed it, handed it over. She pawed through it. Where's my jewelry? In storage. That's my grandmother's necklace. And it's safely stored, climate controlled and everything. You're being petty. I'm being practical. You wanted to go to Silas's wedding. I didn't stop you. You made your choice. I chose to support a friend during a difficult time. Which friend? The ex you were planning to hook up with, or the bride you were helping him betray? Francine jumped in. That's enough. Tessa is not some villain. She's a young woman who got caught up in complicated feelings. She's 26, not 16. Old enough to know that lying is wrong. You went through her private messages. After she left them open. After I caught her in multiple lies. After she booked a flight to her ex's wedding while telling me it was someone else's. Brendan was edging toward the door. Smart man, Tessa noticed. Where are you going? This is a lot. Maybe you should handle this privately. You said you'd help me. I said I'd give you a ride. This is more than I signed up for. He left. Tessa looked stunned. Great. Thanks, Nolan. You scared him off too. I didn't say a word to him. You didn't have to. She was spiraling now. The wedding implosion, losing her place to live, and now her rebound running, it was all hitting at once. Francine tried one more time. Where is she supposed to go? You're her mother. She's your problem now. She can't move back home. She has a life here. Then she should get an apartment. Like an adult. With what money? Her freelance work barely covers. Mom, Tessa cut her off. Don't. But I understood now. Tessa had been essentially living off me. Her successful graphic design business wasn't so successful. The portfolio website, the client meetings, the busy schedule, mostly smoke and mirrors. How much of our rent were you actually capable of paying? I asked. Tessa looked at the ground. I was building my business. How much? Maybe $600 a month, consistently. Our rent was $2,400. I'd been covering $1,800 thinking it was temporary while she got established. It had been 6 months. Were you ever planning to pay half? Eventually. Yes, when things took off. Or when you married someone who'd support you, like Silas. Her silence was damning. Francine sensed the shift. We should go. Yeah, think? I was done. So done. As they gathered themselves to leave, Tessa turned back. I loved you, you know. It wasn't all fake. Just the parts about Lindsay's wedding, and your thriving business, and having closure with Silas, and being ready for an equal partnership. I never lied about loving you. You lied about respecting me. That's worse. They left. I locked the door with my new keys and went back to work. 2 hours later, I get a Venmo request from Tessa. $1,200. Note, for moving expenses since you illegally evicted me. I declined it. Added a note. Storage unit is paid through the month. After that, it's $150 a month. She sent another request. $150. Note, first month's storage you're forcing me to pay. Declined. Your stuff, your responsibility. The requests kept coming. $600 for therapy to deal with your abuse. $2,400 last month's rent I'm owed. $89.99 for the Uber from your apartment. All declined. Finally, she just sent a penny with a note. What you're worth. I accepted it. Sent back 2 cents. Here's my 2 cents. Pay your own bills. She blocked me after that. Silas reached out last night. Long rambling email about how I misunderstood the situation. How he and Elena were practically broken up already. How I destroyed something beautiful between him and Tessa. I replied with one line, "If it was so beautiful, why did you propose to someone else?" He didn't respond. As for me, I'm sitting in my quiet apartment, not worrying about lies or secret texts or whose wedding we're attending. The place feels bigger without her stuff. Cleaner, too. My buddy Jerome asked if I regret the nuclear option. Honestly, no. Elena deserved the truth. Tessa deserved consequences. Silas deserved exposure. And me? I deserve better than being someone's meal ticket while they pine for their ex. Funny thing about that digital photo frame. Elena sent me a message yesterday. Just said, "Keeping the frame. It's a good reminder to trust my instincts. Thank you. At least someone got something valuable out of this mess." Tessa's Instagram is back to normal. Lots of new beginnings and everything happens for a reason posts. No mention of a failed relationship or a ruined wedding. Just filtered selfies and motivational quotes. Brendan's nowhere to be seen in the posts. Guess he really did run for the hills. Smart man. The storage unit deadline is coming up in 3 weeks. $10 says she'll expect me to keep paying for it. Another 10 says Francine will call to guilt trip me about it. But that's future Nolan's problem. Current Nolan is ordering takeout from that Thai place Tessa hated and watching the game in peaceful silence. Turns out when you remove the lies from your life, there's a lot more room to breathe.